What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video we will talk about Koulibaly because he spoke out on his future amid links to Liverpool FC, and Liverpool are in desperate need of a great centre-back. So let me know in the comments below which centre-back would you prefer Liverpool to sign in January or next summer. Let me know, and also leave a like on these videos if you enjoy these transfer news updates. A brand new Liverpool Career Mode episode is dropping later tonight, and also we have to talk about the Fabinho injury first, because Fabinho has been withdrawn from the Brazil squad, which is a bad injury omen for Liverpool, because Liverpool have yet to confirm the severity of Fabinho's injury. David Madder came out and said in the Mirror that Fabinho is expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks, but he could be back before the international break is over. But now Brazil have confirmed the news of Fabinho's withdrawal with the announcement of Everton midfielder Alan as Fabinho's replacement. So Fabinho will not play for Brazil in the next international break. And this is what the report said. Rodrigo Lasmar, the Brazil national team doctor, received reports and required information from the Liverpool medical department that confirmed Fabinho would be unable to participate in Brazil's upcoming fixture. And also in this video we will listen to Jurgen Klopp criticizing the Premier League in terms of how they design the fixtures, because Jurgen Klopp is very upset, what happened to my voice? Jesus. Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp is very upset about the Premier League fixture list and the fixture congestion. So Koulibaly is under contract until 2023 with Napoli, and Napoli have asked so much money for Koulibaly recently that no club went in with a serious offer. But that could change, because Napoli need to make some very interesting financial decisions amid the pandemic, and they might have to sell some key players to balance the books. And following Thursday's 1-0 Europa League win over Real Sociedad, Koulibaly have acknowledged the interest in him, and he added that he loves Napoli, but we will see what happens in the future. So I think it's very interesting how Koulibaly talks here. I love Naples and Naples loves me. That's the most important thing. I always make myself available game after game. I still have 3 years of contract. I'm calm. The teams are looking for me, but I'm still here. I play at my level and I have this team and these people because I want to give something back to them, and then we will see what happens. I had a more difficult season last season, even if I didn't do badly, but we know the level I have and we knew I could give more. This year the coach told me that it mattered a lot about me because I have to have the team and I had to get back to my level. He simply told me the truth and told me to my face I went to work and available to everyone, and today we see the result. But we must be aware that the season is still long and there are many games where we need to maintain this level. Basically, Koulibaly is acknowledging that he wasn't at his absolute world-class best for Napoli last season, and that's one of the reasons why Napoli didn't even make the Champions League. They are in the Europa League, and it's pretty ironic that because they only made the Europa League, that's why Napoli might have to sell Koulibaly in the end, because the Champions League revenue is not there. The Italian clubs have been hit very hard during the pandemic, with no fans in stadiums allowed, and restrictions are coming in Italy as well. So Napoli might have to sell Koulibaly as early as the January transfer window if they want to break even in terms of their financial situation. So let me know, do you think would Napoli sell Koulibaly? Would it be a good move for Liverpool to spend 50-60 million pounds on a 29-year-old Koulibaly? Personally, my personal choice would be Upamecano. I think he really stands out among all the defenders. And yes, Leipzig conceded 5 goals against Man United recently, which didn't look really good. Upamecano didn't cover himself in glory in that game, if you like. But he's still just 21 years old. Koulibaly, on the other hand, he's the finished article. He's 29. And he would cost a lot of money and a lot of wages, so I don't think that it's really a big value for money signing for Liverpool. But still, Liverpool could go in for him, because Koulibaly, as I said, he would be a perfect Van Dijk replacement. He would come in and straight away hit the ground running in the Premier League and put in world-class performances, and he would really shore up the Liverpool defense, in my opinion. And Jurgen Klopp came out and heavily criticized the Premier League, saying that they are just not bothered about the fixture pile-up, about players getting injured left, right and center. All clubs have more than the normal injuries happening to them, and that's because of the congested fixture list. And basically most clubs didn't really have a proper preseason, and this is what Jurgen Klopp said. I think everybody would agree that if you play Tuesday night, you can play the Saturday 12:30 p.m. game, but somehow the Premier League never realizes that. They always put in the Wednesday night game. Like last Saturday, Man City had to play this game at 12:30 p.m. on Saturday. I can't believe it. We are obviously not friends. We play against each other and we fight against each other. But how is that possible? Maybe I'm too dumb. Premier League CEO Richard Masters and all the others have said it before. Come on, that's how it is. They just aren't bothered about it. I don't understand why. And sooner or later, Liverpool and all the other clubs will just run the players into the ground because of the fixture list pile-up. But that's what the Premier League wants. The only thing that they care about is money and how much they can make. They don't care if they exploit the footballers and they run them into the ground. And I don't understand this mentality, because surely you want the best and the biggest players to be available for every big game, to be not injured. But if you just willy-nilly listen to the TV companies and the TV companies dictate the fixture list, then surely that's not a good thing for the big players, because sooner or later they will get injured, and then the less big players play in these big games, the less attractive that is to the viewers, to the advertisers. So I don't really understand why common sense can't be used. Why can't they move the fixture list so it accommodates all the clubs that play European football? Because it doesn't make sense for me that you play on Wednesday and then you play the Saturday lunchtime kickoff. And that happened to Liverpool previously, that happened to Manchester City, and that will happen to many other big clubs as well. So surely the Premier League and the TV companies could use some common sense, but as Jurgen Klopp said, they are just not bothered. They don't care about the players' well-being. They just want as much money, as much TV revenue as they can rake in. And the perfect example is this pay-per-view absolute shambles, where they wanted £15 to be paid for, no disrespect, for a Burnley West Brom game, for example. And there were some games where there was less than 1,000 paying customers to watch those games. And let me tell you that the rest of the people, many hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, watched on illegal streams or watched on like foreign broadcasters. And I find it so insulting that the United Kingdom customers get the worst deal, because here in my country, in Hungary, I pay around I pay £17 for my cable and also internet combined, and I get 105 TV channels included, like 6 different sports channels where I can watch Premier League football, La Liga football, French League football, Bundesliga football, other leagues as well, just not the Italian league. I think that's the only league that is not covered. £17 for a very good internet connection, plus 105 TV channels, including a lot of sports channels. Just compare that to £15 for 90 minutes of football, 90 minutes of Premier League football. And some clubs like Aston Villa, for example, most of their games are not televised in England, which means that if an Aston Villa fan wants to watch every game of his club, he has to pay £15 almost every single week, which is an absolute day-right robbery in my opinion, and it just doesn't feel right to me. And I just wanted to give my opinion on that matter. And Gary Neville said it, Jamie Carragher said it, this pay-per-view has to be scrapped. It's failed, it's done and dusted. But now it looks like they just want to lower the price. They just want to limit the price at like £10 or £5, but it doesn't matter. It still doesn't feel right to me that players in England, in the UK, where they're the home of the Premier League, and that's where they rinse the fans the most. It just feels wrong. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, who also came through the Liverpool academy and was thrown in at the deep end, and since then he became a world-class right back, has backed his fellow academy graduate Reece Williams to also handle the pressure and put in world-class performances straight away. This is what he said. Obviously, Reece Williams is covering at centre half, and he has been playing unbelievable in the last few games. Obviously that happens and it is disappointing. Hopefully it's not too long, because we will miss Fabinho. That position is probably a little bare at the minute, to say the least, but we have got an amazing squad. You have seen Reece Williams stepping in and doing a world-class job at such a young age with such little experience. Unbelievable from him. He never really put a foot wrong. Well done to him, and I think he's got a bright future ahead. I think he's an amazing player. He has shown that over the last few weeks. He wasn't with us much last season, but he came in this season and showed how good a player he is. The manager obviously trusts him a lot, and he has been playing a few minutes. To be thrown in at the deep end on the biggest stages is tough to do, tough to perform, but he never really put a foot wrong. So I think he will be definitely in the manager's thoughts, hopefully come the weekend and further on. And Trent also commented on Diogo Jota and the fact that he already scored 3 goals in 8 games since he moved to Anfield. That's exactly what you want from a new signing, Trent said. Jota slotted in right on the pitch and off the pitch. He works well with us, works well for us, and I think we all noticed that when we played against him in the last few seasons at Wolves, and how good a player he is. So to have him on our team now is something we are happy with. Like you said, he has hit the ground running, and hopefully there will be many more goals and a lot more success with him in the team. It was always going to be tough. It's the Champions League, so you never expect an easy game, but we have kept a clean sheet, which we are happy with, and we played well. We did our job. It wasn't our best game, but we've got the job done. 3 points in a tough group. You never take that for granted, and we have put ourselves in a decent position. Hopefully we have set the foundation to work off now, and hopefully keep going, keep working hard and advance. Very good interview by Trent that I wanted to share with you guys. And Mo Salah started the season in absolutely blistering form, scoring 7 goals in 9 games, and Jordan Henderson is also impressed. Mo Salah's numbers are jaw-dropping. He has achieved his century in just 159 appearances. This is computer game stuff. I read that Mo got to this milestone in the 3rd quickest time in Liverpool history. The other 2 Liverpool players who got to a century quicker are Roger Hunt and Jack Parkinson, and we are going back quite a long time. It just emphasizes the enormity of his contribution. I shouldn't be surprised, but it yet again underlines just how blessed we all are to be working with Salah and be a supporter of this club at the time he's here with us. Not for 1 minute do I think Mo is taken for granted. He 100% isn't by anyone associated with our club, at least. But I do think the level of his achievement maybe deserves a little more recognition in the game. It's possible that the numbers he hit in his first season with us, 40 plus goals, means everything else since has been measured by an unfair and unrealistic yardstick. As someone privileged to play alongside him, Henderson continued, I can tell you, I think he's so much better now than during that first season. I also think his contribution now is more important than in that first season. As amazing as he was, he has only got better and better. If you look at how we have evolved as a team since the 2017-18 season, the contribution by Salah to that has been as big as anyone's. He works so hard for the team, sacrifices for the team. All of us on the pitch benefit from that. It does feel, rightly or wrongly, that Mo is only really praised when he scores goals, and that for me is missing so much of the all-round contribution he makes. We are so fortunate to have this quality in all of our front players. Mane, Firmino, Taki, Diogo Jota, Divock Origi, Shaqiri and so on, to play in our forward line. You have to be about far more than just goals and assists. Salah epitomizes the best of that, and yet still gets the numbers he does. Personally speaking, I hope the goal at Everton was Mo reaching his first 100 for Liverpool, and there are so many more to come. I'm sure that will be the case, but in the meantime, I can't begin to tell you how much we all appreciate him, and that's actually exactly what was needed to be said by Henderson, because Salah is very much underappreciated for what he is. He is one of the best forward players the Premier League has ever seen. Jamie Carragher also praised Trent Alexander-Arnold after his brilliant display against Midtjylland. He was the man of the match, and Jamie Carragher said this: there is one player who I should mention who was outstanding, and that was Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was heavily involved in both goals. What's interesting is that we have someone in the studio who actually burst onto the scene, Micah Richards, to actually be a great cover for Pablo Zabaleta at Man City, whereas this lad has burst onto the scene to be the best fullback in the world. So there is a huge difference when you do burst onto the scene. He was just trolling Michael Richards here, but also what he said was actually true, that Trent burst onto the scene and he actually became the best, or one of the best fullbacks in the world. And oh wow, we are so blessed to have this generation of Liverpool youngsters coming through now. Reece Williams, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez also. He didn't come through the youth academy of Liverpool, but we signed him when he was like 16 years old from Charlton. We have Harvey Elliott. Curtis Jones is another scouser, came through the youth academy. So Liverpool have now another great generation of young players. Remember when Michael Owen, Steven Gerrard and other young players, Jamie Carragher, came through the youth academy of Liverpool, and that marked a big period of success for Liverpool, and let's hope that it is the same this time. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Liverpool transfer news video. More videos to come later today, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you guys. Goodbye.